It is a series of events which culminate on May 15th. The Derby is a chance to bring the town together, to forget our day-to-day problems that we all face, and to reevaluate why we call Windsor home. To have a successful Shad Derby, it takes many volunteers, hundreds of hours of their own time. And their only reward really is the satisfaction of knowing that they've done a good job. To have a successful Shad Derby, it also takes the merging of those volunteers with local businesses, big and small. Whether it's a check to show their support or the offering of service, everyone comes together this time of year. At this time, the Shad Derby Committee would like to thank those individuals who are here representing our single largest sponsor, the Hartford Current. Unfortunately, it is a little known fact that without the Current's continued financial support, we probably wouldn't be here tonight. The awards given to the Queen and her court would not be as large as they are, and instead of having our coronation ball at La Renaissance, we would probably be in a rented hall. In other words, the Shad Derby festivities as we know them would not be the same. In better financial times, we were able to turn to the town, but we also need assistance from businesses. Shad Derby is a business, and it needs capital to survive. 3 years ago, the town had to cut its Shad Derby budget by 85%. That's a lot. The Derby was simply a victim of the hard times that struck everybody in the country. And instead of letting 35 years of Windsor tradition fold up, the Hartford Current stepped in. And they said they wanted to be a bigger part of the community and not let the date fall through the cracks. They started a wave of momentum that has continued right through to today. Thanks to their contribution and the creative efforts of Steve Erickson and Kevin Deneen, the Shad Derby continued and it never missed a beat. Now, in 1993, the economic times had begun to crawl upwards with a long road of recovery ahead, and the Current, despite its success and growth, still is holding on to its small town commitment. They're seeing that the residents of Windsor maintain that one piece of heritage that seems to bring the whole town together. So in closing, on behalf of the Shad Derby Committee and the residents of Windsor, we say thank you to the Hartford Current and to everyone for helping to keep Windsor's tradition of excellence alive. This is an evening for which our young women have been preparing. They were simply asked to prepare some comments about themselves. One by one, they will be called upon to speak to you. Please give them your full attention and listen to what they have to say. Ms. Amy Brzezowskis, sponsored by Windsor Federal Savings and Loan Association.
I wanted to be an astronaut ever since I was short. My future was determined when I raised money in the 8th grade to attend space camp. After just a taste of the field of space exploration, I knew I wanted to become an astronaut. I studied the backgrounds of the United States astronauts and determined that most had graduated from the United States Naval Academy. So I set my sights on attending one of the most difficult colleges in the nation. Being a naturally active student and member of Windsor High School, I overpacked my schedule in free time with many events I found enjoyable, such as Student Council, National Honor Society, Class of 93 activities, and the engineering and math teams at the high school. I keep myself in good physical condition by participating on the track, field hockey, and cross-country teams. To fulfill my political aspirations of running for town office when I am older, I am a student member of the Windsor Youth Commission. I have been preparing for the Naval Academy ever since 8th grade and was very happy upon hearing of my acceptance. After 4 years at the United States Naval Academy, I plan to attend flight school. After flight school, I will have 8 years of duty to serve, during which I will work towards my master's and apply to NASA to become a military astronaut.
Presenting Miss Phyllis London, sponsored by Kennedy Road Veterinary Clinic.
The summer of '88 is definitely one to remember. My parents told me I would be attending USY, people from all over Connecticut, I enjoyed the social activities as well as the religious aspect of USY. When this fun-filled week came to an end, I returned home to my parents, handed them the application for the next event, and told them when the next check was due. USY is still a very big part of my life. I am currently chapter president and have been for the past 2 years. I have also served on many committees and chaired many events for my chapter and region. Along with USY, I have also participated with many organizations such as Student Council, Jazz Show Choir, Triad Music Honor Society, and theater. My summers are mostly spent performing in Windsor Summer Youth Theater, as well as performing in the Windsor High Drama Department during the school year. Theater has been a very important factor in my life. I have become a stronger, more disciplined individual, and am willing to dedicate my time and effort as much as possible to these groups. As graduation approaches, I'm beginning to look back at my high school years and realize that I have not only given to these organizations, but in fact benefited from them. I have gained confidence, dedication, leadership, and responsibility. These qualities will help me further my education, obtain my goals for the future, and tackle any obstacles that may get in the way of my success.
Miss Robin Goulet, sponsored by Windsor Lions Club.
Being the youngest of 4 children, I've had to work hard to distinguish myself as an individual. With my siblings as role models, I have learned from their many adventures. Without their experiences, I would never have the courage to go out and adventure on my own. During my high school years, the realization of the importance of priorities, goal setting, and responsibility have led me to where I am today. Presently, I am a member and co-captain of my high school softball team. Working closely with my coach and teammates has taught me how to be a leader and a team player, and how to enjoy these rewards that come from it. I am employed at a local restaurant as a waitress. Even though my job is not liked by many, I enjoy it because of the variety of personalities I face every day. I also learn more about myself, including about my tolerance and patience. This fall, I plan on attending the University of Hartford to major in psychology. I want to do this because I work well with people, I'm a good listener, and people find me easy to confide in. The need for psychologists is growing, and I hope that with my choice, one day I will do it.
Ms. Courtney Colmorgan, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club.
Entering a room full of Sunday school children, I often ask myself, what do I have to offer? I came up with warmth, sensitivity, feeling of sharing, and a knowledge of learning. Teaching Sunday school, along with being an active member of my school and providing community service, are many things I do in my spare time. I also tutor. This helps me expand the minds of young children as well as my own. Tutoring is not the only way I express this interest. I also work at Miles Head Discovery Center, where I am surrounded by many children with curious questions, varying from how many peas in a pod to who was the 12th president. I love to watch their individual personalities grow, as well as knowing, while they depend on me, I can guide them in the right direction. With a career in elementary education, I'll be faced with these sorts of challenges every day. Helping the future leaders of America expand and strengthen their ability to achieve their goals and ambitions in life is important to me. The more I learn from them, the more I learn about myself. Teaching enables me to expand the minds of young children as well as my own while doing something I love.
Miss Sarah Rothenberger, sponsored by Gillette Real Estate.
Some people love to sit back, relax, and let life come to them. Not me. Through 18 years of getting to know myself, I've found that I'm a person who loves to be involved. From the volleyball team to the drama club to the first church in Windsor, I'm involved. Because of my love of involvement, I'm planning to attend Westminster College next fall. Westminster is a small school in western Pennsylvania, where I plan to experience as much as time will allow. I plan to go to a small school because at a small school, I feel I can express myself and and not be known as number 10,232 out of enrollment. I plan to major in psychology and minor in theater. The art of psychology has been a love of mine for many years, and every friend needs advice. I can be there with an ear or even a shoulder. The love of theater has been an interest of mine since I was 9 years old. I have played many roles, but haven't found one that I fully be able to relate to. Involvement with Westminster Theater will hopefully bring me this dream role. Through involvement, I can only hope to learn and experience more than I have in 18 years, and to learn more about myself in the process.
Laurie Beth Munoz, sponsored by JCL Landscaping.
Everything keeps getting curiouser and curiouser. That was my first lie, and my first real play. I was playing Alice in Alice in Wonderland, and I can still remember the feel of the first lights to hit my face, the feel of the thick makeup and the layers of hairspray. Even now I recall how I felt, a nervous, trembling Florida. All eyes on me. But what I remember most is the pure adrenaline I felt on that stage. The feeling of exhilaration as I performed, the warmth of the audience when we called. All this has given me what I have today. A love for the theater, a respect for the stage, and a desire and determination to someday be a great performer. My love for the stage has carried on into my high school years, through Windsor Summer Youth Group and Windsor High School Festival, where I've been involved in many productions. I've also continued my involvement with my school and community by serving as an appointee to the State Student Advisory Council on Education, on Windsor High School's Student Council, and as an employee at Baskin Robbins. Throughout all my activities, I have found that my training in the theater has helped me to aspire to other goals. Things that have sparked me that I know will stay with me forever. The theater has also shown me not only who I want to be, but also who I am. Acting has helped me to be other people, and more importantly, to be myself. There is a lesson to be learned from Alice in Wonderland, and that is in the words of the Queen of Hearts. Speak in French when you don't know the English version. Turn out your toes when you are, when you are. And remember to be yourself.
Miss Juliet Stryker, sponsored by New England Bank and Trust.
I face a problem every Sunday. By working with the children at my church in Hartford, I find that there's a great lack of social and educational maturity. The biggest problems are the ones that people don't recognize, such as lack of their role models. The result of this is a low self-esteem and the fear that you can see in their eyes because of the violence that they face in school and on the street. I believe that we should set up a program at Windsor High in which students can volunteer time after school to be a positive influence on these inner city children. I am currently involved in several activities at my high school, such as varsity, girls track, DECA, school newspaper, and I volunteer some of my free time to help run our school store. I am planning on attending Fisher College for Women in Boston and majoring in fashion merchandising. There I will receive my associate degree, then transfer to Boston University for my bachelor's. My personal future goal is to one day own my own business in the fashion industry and assist others in owning their own, creating jobs and new opportunities.
Miss Amy Raphael, sponsored by Second Look Hair Salon.
While working at Baskin Robbins, I've been asked many times which ice cream flavor is my favorite. My response is French vanilla. It is not only my favorite flavor, it is also the one that best represents me. It is a deeper, richer, more evolved flavor that is more to offer than other basic ice creams, as well as having more French in its name. Next year, I will be attending Wake Forest University in North Carolina and plan to double major in French and psychology. Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be a psychologist. But now, after taking 5 years of French, being an exchange student in Gisors, France, and being an I would love to be able to master both skills. Hopefully I can study in France after 1 year of college. During my free time, I enjoy either playing or watching sports. I've been a member of the varsity volleyball and tennis teams for the past 4 years, while managing the boys' swim team for the kids. I enjoy reading and writing, which has inspired me to join both the newspaper and yearbook staff at school. I'm currently an author of the National French Honor Society, which I enjoy because it allows me to pull all my skills together and guide others. Although my activities give me great satisfaction, given the opportunity, I would love to drop everything and travel around the world in 8 days.
Ms. Lisa Maynard, sponsored by the Windsor Civitan Club.
Recently, I came to realize that there actually is a whole different world out there. And for some time, I made myself believe that I was not prepared enough for it. However, different experiences has given me the opportunity to boost my self-confidence and have motivated me to change my mind. I am thankful to have been involved in various organizations, such as the NAACP, Church Youth Group, and the High School Student Government. These organizations have given me the opportunity to prove to myself and to others that I am not at all a follower but a leader. They also let me believe in myself that it was all right for me to stand up for my rights and the rights of others. They have also taught me that it was okay just to be a little bit different from the rest of the world. The one person whom I admire the most is my mother. I admire her because of her unselfish ways. But mostly, I admire her because of her inner strength. My mother has always pushed me to do the best I can and to be the best that I can be. Upon graduating high school, I plan to pursue a career in pediatric nursing. I believe being a nurse of this kind will come easily to me because I love working with and being with children. After I obtain my degree, I plan to take what I've learned back to my community to help those who are less fortunate than myself.
Ms. Stacy Ellison, sponsored by the Windsor Afro-American Civic Association.
As graduation approaches, I am becoming increasingly aware of my forthcoming responsibilities. My objective is to someday work in the children's hospital as a pediatric nurse to help touch the lives of so many children with leukemia, cancer, and even its fast-spreading disease AIDS. In preparation for working with the children, I currently work at Milo Peck Studies where I'm a student teacher aide. Donating my time to participate in community and school-related activities will aid towards a productive experience and a challenging but yet rewarding career. Some of my extracurricular activities are being a student representative of the Human Relations Commission, class secretary, and student council's general assembly and executive board. I have also served as cheerleading captain, youth choir treasurer, and member of the Big Sister organization. As a young African-American woman, many people think I am faced with discrimination of race, age, and sex. Many of my dilemmas, however, are not exclusively Black ones. They are dilemmas shared by all young women. I know that in order to succeed in this world, I must have an education. Education is the only weapon against ignorance. It's the only way to compete and to survive in this world. Anything I've obtained has been brought with sweat, tears, determination, hard work. Determination and perseverance move the world. Thinking that others will do it for us is a sure way to fail.
Ms. Stacy Warren, sponsored by the Windsor House Restaurant.
I've been fortunate that I've already determined my future career goal. As second oldest of 5 children, I spent many years babysitting for my younger brother and sister. This has helped me to develop a strong interest working with young children. My career goal includes working with children in a hospital setting. Next year, I will be attending Fisher College in Boston and majoring in early childhood education. For the past 5 years, I've been an active member of the Windsor Boys and Girls Bar for me as I traveled through many states representing our town. I've also been active in Windsor High School community through Student Council in DECA, which is a high school marketing organization. Through DECA, I've developed my leadership skills in state competitions and conferences in Boston and Washington, D.C. I enjoyed growing up in Windsor, surrounded by its rich history and traditions such as the annual Northwest Park Country Fair, Shad Day, and the many sports and recreation activities that I have participated in. I feel as a teenager in today's society, it's great to be involved in many different activities. As long as I set my mind to it, I can accomplish anything.
Miss Megan Bacho, sponsored by Artery Chevrolet.
In the words of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, I quote, "The eyes of the blind, one must look with the heart." As I reflect upon this simple quotation, I realize how much of life is spent in the hurried pace of routine living. Our eyes are often too overwhelmed with images to enjoy the simple delights that come with every day. Yet personally, I find that it is these simple, often overlooked delights that add meaning to repetitions that all people are bound to. In fact, I often find it necessary to get out of the mainstream of society, find satisfaction in a job well done, or achieve a goal. Upon reflection of 4 years of schooling, I would like to think that I seized my part. As a student, I was always looking for the biggest challenge so that I could satisfy my inner thirst for knowledge. I found pleasure in all of my academic victories, but also the value of making mistakes. Subsequently, I am not afraid of failure. Well, aside from finding me in the library, behind a book, or at my personal computer, I could be out on the track or running my daily course around town. As captain of the cross-country team and veteran member of the track and field team, I find happiness in a cool day, a good hard workout, and especially the thrill of crossing the finish line. Often, it's not the time or the numerical place that matters, but rather the fact that I worked hard and reached a self-made goal. Someday in my future, I wish to graduate from med school and seek the profession of a doctor. Even in the fast-paced days of a medic, I hope that I will be able to look back and revel in the little victories of the day.
Miss Amy Swartzel, sponsored by Scully Motors.
Whenever I hear the word state champions, I always think back to my soccer game a year ago when Windsor High School won the state championship. If anyone were to ask me what I do in my spare time, the answer would be sports. I have contributed a major part of my life playing soccer and softball. I have been involved with each of these sports since the first grade. I've been on the varsity soccer and softball team all throughout my 4 years as a coach. Being on these teams has taught me many things. Without teamwork, no team will be successful. I feel it is important to know how to work with others. I have love and care for the workforce because when working with other people, a great deal of teamwork is necessary. I have also dealt with losing. Some people are good at it, others aren't. Losing is not the best feeling, but everything in life doesn't always go the way you want. I think being a good sport and feeling good about what you have accomplished is more important than when you are losing. Next year, I plan to attend a 4-year college and continue my soccer career. I hope to put my teamwork and ability to work with others to use in the business world. With hard work and dedication, I plan to develop my own business to grow and become. I want to be able to make a difference in the way people feel about a product. Bringing out the best qualities and acting on them will make people take into consideration the other options around them. I feel that there is always room for change.
Miss Amy Cirillo, sponsored by Windsor JCs.
Setting goals is important to reach my future plans. I am going into elementary education. During my planning for this, I am presently working as an assistant to a home daycare
4 years now. I have also taken all of the child courses as well as health courses throughout high school. Work experience has enhanced my understanding of how to develop and communicate, and that it is important to be consistent in applying discipline fairly, setting limits and expectations, and most important, giving positive feedback. I am committed more so than ever to pursue my elementary education teaching career. I am self-reliant and independent. I have been earning spending money since the age of 14. I am also personally organized because I have to be, in order to attend classes, go to work, and do my homework. Running for Shad Queen has been a great experience for me. It has made me look at what I've achieved and where I want to go. So it has also highlighted what needs to be done to get me there. While meeting people and attending events has been fun, the most important part has been what I've learned about myself.
Denise Wise, sponsored by Ashley's Distinctive Jewelry.
3 years ago, I attended a summer work project in the Cumberland Mountains of Tennessee. I traveled down with my church youth group to rebuild and remodel homes for people who were too poor or, for some reason or another, just could not do it themselves. The towns in which we visited were severely poverty-stricken. Some of the homes had no indoor plumbing, which meant in the cold days of winter, high in the mountains of Tennessee, families were forced to bear the elements for something in which we all take for granted, our bathrooms. This experience was an eye-opener for me. It not only taught me to really appreciate what I do have, but to respect different cultures for what they are, while using the talent in which God has given me to help others who cannot help themselves. Presently, I'm active in my church youth group as the president of the student council. I am employed at a local restaurant as hostess, where I've worked with people who have taught me to accept difference. I'm on the school newspaper staff, and I've managed the Windsor High School boys baseball team for the past 4 years. This summer, I'm starting a full-time job at an insurance company in Windsor, while I'll be attending part-time classes at a community school with a major of business, and hope to someday get a career as a certified sales representative. From my past experiences of working with new people and cultures, diversity and change are some of the attributes I feel I have to offer.
Our evening would not be complete if we didn't have a word from our 1992 Shad Derby Queen. So coming back to see us, I think she came home from college, is Miss Kristen Mary. Please welcome her.
Good evening, judges, ladies and gentlemen, and the 1993 Shad Derby Queen contestants. Reflecting back on my Windsor experience, I realize I am fortunate to have grown up in such a wonderful town. At Wellesley College, I've had the opportunity to interact with students who come from every state and 45 different countries. Because I grew up in a diverse town, such as Windsor, I did not have to go through an adjustment period in terms of living in a community with people of different ethnic backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs. In this respect, Wellesley feels just like home. Being at Wellesley also helped me further appreciate the tradition and uniqueness of the Shad Derby Festival. When I explained this event to my peers, they were all very impressed. I found the reaction somewhat surprising, though, since I assumed all of them would also have a hometown event to brag about. However, they didn't. This was exciting for me, since I could continue talking about my own town and know that they were sincerely interested. I think it is incredible that a town so diverse can come together in such unity to celebrate the coming of spring and the running of the Shad of the Connecticut and Farmington River. This whole event exists and is successful because of the many people who take part in the enriching experience of volunteerism. Consider for a moment just how many people and volunteer organizations help make the Shad Derby Festival what it is. This type of community spirit is hard to find in most towns and cities. In today's busy and fast-paced world, in which family and society are steadily deteriorating, it is important that we perpetuate an event that brings together members in the community. Lastly, I wish you all the best of luck. This will be an event that you won't forget and will look back upon and cherish. Thank you.
I'm sure you all agree that Kristen and all the 15 young women before you are a credit to our community and to our educational system.